Good good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our live stream. Excuse me, it has been definitely been a long time, a few months since our last live stream, but work has been busy and we have been absolutely flat out doing other things that we can sort of talk about what we've been up to before we start the show. So please hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up and a comment in the comments after the show. We'd really appreciate it. So we'll bring in Jason. Good evening, Jason. Welcome back.
What's happening, everyone? It's been a while since we've done a live stream. So
yeah,
been absolutely much blame Aaron for this because he's been working all the time. He used to whinge and when he didn't have a job on, and then now he's got too many jobs on. He's complaining again also. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I've got to work. I actually got tomorrow off, but I'm working all weekend.
Oh, it's good. Everything's going well then. So, hey, better earning money than not earning any money. So,
no, exactly.
Anyway, what's been going on? Let's do a recap, I guess. What's been happening with you? What's happening? Anything exciting other than work or shooting?
Work and being in the workshop building furniture and everything, custom made furniture. Just need people to come and buy them, but no one buys anything in this country. No one. They all think everything should be IKEA prices.
Yeah, they don't want to buy the expensive stuff. I mean, especially when they can go, some idiot buys something for $3,000-4,000, and then you go buy it on Facebook Marketplace for like $200 or something, or $150 because no one wants any secondhand furniture. So, but anyway, other than that, any shooting? I know you've been shooting pistols. Any purchases or anything going on?
No, I haven't brought anything new for myself at all. No, I've just been out shooting. The Desert Eagle broke again. So this weekend I've got to put a new ejector spring in it.
Yeah, right.
So, so that broke. But no, just shooting the pistols, basically. Took the 223 out for a quick shoot a few weeks ago. The first shot, haven't shot it for like 2 years, the hunting 223. The Sour, first shot straight through the bullseye at 100 meters. Like smack bang in the middle. Then the next two shots.
Is that factory or reloads?
Just factory. Just a Hornady tap. So, yeah.
Hornady tap.
Yeah, first shot straight. Like you couldn't get a better bullseye shot than the next two right next to it touching. That was that first 3 shots. That was just leaning up against the ute.
Yeah, nice. What, anything else or what? How many times have you repaired that deagle now?
Twice. This will be the second time. Apparently, it's a common thing.
Not bad. It's not. How much does it cost to fix that? What, that extractor? $10, $20?
Oh, yeah, something like that. $15-20 for the ejector spring, which is a little bit of rubber, like a minute bit of rubber. I could have made one in my workshop. Just carved it up.
What? So it's not a spring. It's actually a piece of rubber.
Yeah, that pushes on the extractor.
Maybe it goes back and then pushes forward again. Yeah.
No, it just hits the extractor. It's like an AR-15 extractor.
Yeah, right.
So it can spring up and down.
Yeah, no, it's been good. No, I haven't done much, man, to be honest. I went through a hunt a couple of weeks ago. About how long was it? Just the end of this month, but no, I didn't get anything. I don't know. Things are starting to heat up. So every time I go this time of the year, I tend to see different movements in deer this time of year. So I'm not really sure, man, what's going on. I normally see it around the October long weekend as well. But I tell you what, man, let us know in the comments. It has been hot in Sydney, I'm telling you. 3 weeks after winter, and we've had 3 to 4 days now of easily way above 30. Today was 34. I think it ticked over 35 at about 2 o'clock. Yesterday was very similar. And Monday also was in the 30s as well, 33, 34. So I think tomorrow is not too bad. It cools down tomorrow. Or is it hot again tomorrow, then it cools down on Friday? I'm not sure. But yeah, man, I wouldn't expect this heat, man, for this time of the year now. So I definitely appreciate the wintertime, eh?
That's cute because it's been about 35 to 40 degrees up here, 37. It has been sweltering up here where I am.
What, already?
Yeah. Well, it just said it was on the news the other day. It could be the hottest summer in history. And it's going to be so dry. And it is mega dry out here right now.
Yeah.
Thank God, because we don't have to mow the lawns out here. Just everything dirt. It's great. I've got 2 acres of dirt.
Oh, mate,
no mowing.
Yeah. Nothing green on your property to make the property look nice, eh?
No,
just dirt and brown.
I I bought one of those weed eater weed things, the flamethrowers. I just
Yeah.
scorched everything.
How much gas do you go through when you use it? Because I did it at the back of my place where I got like down the bottom of the retaining wall. There's no grass there. Well, there was, but it was all just weeds, like, and I just ended up burning it off. It does a pretty good job, eh?
Yeah, no, it goes for a bit because I just scorched my earth so it won't grow back.
Everything grows back, mate. Seeds fly in, birds poop, and then they grow again. So what do you do? There's not much.
We have had a couple of great storms. I've picked up a bit of work from all the couple of storms that I've had.
Anyway, what's everyone been doing in the comments? Let us know. We'll read out a few comments in a minute. What have you guys been up to? Any shooting? Have you been taking any game? Have you taken any game for the first time? Have you purchased any new guns? Have you purchased any reloading gear? I'll tell you what, I was shocked actually. Well, I don't know. Let me know. I guess you got something for you guys. I've never really had. I know Aaron didn't have success with the Adler. But I've never had. Well, listen, I can't really, but I didn't use it enough. I had one of those. What was it, Aaron? The Dickinson T1000. Now I never had any dramas with it. I've not had good luck over the years with anything Turkish. Every one that I've pretty much bought, I've had to return and got my money back on it because it just went to shit and very quickly too. I might add, I hardly put any ammo through these things. I thought if this thing was actually out in a farm, actually getting used, it wouldn't be that good. Never had any issues with that one, but I was looking at the new one. I think, don't quote me if I'm right, or quote me if I'm wrong on this one, but I think Dickinson has turned into the name Templeton now. So I'm looking for that Templeton. Is that the what's the new Templeton T1 or is it Templeton T1000, the new one with the button on the back of the receiver? So I've got one of those on order coming next. Well, I think it's in a couple of weeks actually. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to use it on the ducks. We'll see how we go come November. Well,
I looked at one the Bushmaster where we hold your front hand. The button's just there. Bang, 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 bang. You go so fast with it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. The funny things with those, though, even when I ended up selling the Dickinson, the straight pull Dickinson one. Never had any issues with that one, but again, I didn't put many rounds through it for it to have a problem, really. But I couldn't get anything for it. I gave it to one of my gun dealers who I know quite well as a friend of mine, and I said, I normally sell my own guns, obviously, and I just drop them off to him to get him to send them. But I just said, mate, take it. I want it out of my safe. Just you sell it for whatever and let me know, mate. I had it for like $650 on the half price, immaculate condition. You know me, how I treat them and all that, keep them wiped down from rust and all that shit. And then, mate, I could barely get $375 for it, man. Because they've got all these new ones now. No one wants the old ones. Nobody wants them.
Exactly. So I've got a couple of ones here. Thank you so much to our good friend Lockie McFarlane for the $20 super chat. First super chat of the new series of live streams. Thank you so much. And I've got a good message here from Neil. I was given a brand new in the box 5-inch Ryobi grinder. It fell apart in 5 minutes for using it. Well, if you want a good grinder, guys, I know this is not a tool show, but
and the Walt.
The Walt $100 ones. I've got about 6 of them I use on construction sites and in my workshop at home, and they are fantastic. They never die. They are some of the best grinders. That's why you see them on all construction sites. These just the $100 ones.
Why do you need 6 though if they never break down and all that?
Oh, for different grinding discs and stuff.
I'll give you that. All right, that was a quick.
So I got a cordless one and a power one in the Ute, and then another cordless and a few other ones in the workshop with different wire wheels and all that on it. And so if you want a good one, wait to Trade Tools have their deal on the $99 and buy them. No, I buy them and store them. I've got a few still in the boxes.
Yeah. A few of the guys saying Makita. I know some of the guys like Makita too. Captain Caveman said, Western brown snakes are out. Massive one nabbed my dog. $3,000 for anti-venom. Ooh, that would have been. Yeah,
I wonder, you got to pay for the anti-venom if it bites you? I wonder if that costs you $3,000.
I don't know. Good question. Anyone been bitten by a venomous snake? Has it cost you money other than maybe the ambulance ride on that? Unless you got insurance, I don't know. But
some dude just died from a brown snake bite not far from my place the other day. Yeah,
Crazy.
and
They
then
just
the,
boom, they're all of a sudden out within 3 weeks. Bang, they're out. Once that warm weather comes out, mate, the little bastards are out, eh?
yeah, well, in one of my sheds on my property, when I was building the big workshop, I opened the door and I had all my tools to drag out for the day, and it was just a mound of baby red belly blacks just all over my drills and grinders. I thought, no, I'll just shut the door. I won't be doing any work today. I think the red belly blacks is one of the only ones that actually give birth to live babies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah,
that it doesn't matter. The
it was
brown
about
snakes are just as lethal when they're
Oh,
born
yeah.
as they are when they're full size. So if it can pierce your skin, no good. No
No, 'cause
good.
the babies don't stop their venom. They dump the
Yeah.
whole lot in one go. Where the adults, will bite you 12 times a second, I think.
Yeah. Well, Captain
Antonio.
Caveman did say the dog made it, so that's bloody good
Oh,
news.
that's
I mean,
good.
I wonder what irreparable damage. I mean, I've seen people get bitten. It's not good for their, liver and kidneys and so forth, and heart
Yeah.
as well. Your heart, I think.
Yeah, so Antonio brought one of my favourite pistols, the SIG P2 320. Absolutely awesome gun. I did buy a laser and torch combo for it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I got one of those. That's so I really like that. So yeah, so that's one of my favourite guns. Super accurate, and along with the P226, the Navy SEALs gun I've got, that's actually made in Germany.
Mm.
Yeah, fantastic guns. So who else is into pistol shooting in here, guys? Tell us what pistols you got.
Yeah.
I'm really getting back
Carbon.
into the pistols big time.
Yeah, you like the pistols. I didn't mind. It was just a lot
Yeah.
of work to do. But Carbon Spider said, being hot here was running around 37.5. Now we're going to be around 26.6. You'll be able to get out and shoot. Maybe a hunt in the mornings, 13.8. And I'm in southern USA. Yeah, it looks like it's hot around the globe, man. A lot of stuff
Yeah.
going on. Mr. Wonderful says, get his $45 a year for his ambulance subscription. I guess he needs the insurance to cover him for in the event that he does need to go to the hospital, needs an ambulance. Froggy Frog 9000. Keep the house blocked. No snake. Sorry. Yeah.
Matt Outdoors. So I know it's not a tool show, but I love tools. I remember my dad bought a Trojan axe from Bunnings. One hit and the head broke off into the woods. Yeah, I've actually got a couple.
I've had the Fiskars. I've seen people break the good Fiskars ones. I've got the Fiskars ones. I've got about 4 of them, but like big one, small one, little. They all break if you hit them on the wrong end sometimes,
Yeah, I've got a couple of antique big axe heads. I think one's from Sweden. And I was going to carve a new handle and restore it all coming up soon.
Yeah. We haven't seen we haven't done one for a while, so I don't know if he's here on the last one, but we haven't seen the old Dan Andrews on our stream for a while, have we?
Yeah, no, he was here. He said hello to everyone. Yeah.
Oh, did he? Sorry, my bad.
I'll bring it up.
Where is he? Our old buddy Daniel Andrews. He's supporting the current topic we are going to talk about. Yeah, Andy 1234777. That's him. He's here. Good to see you. Look, I love his little photo too. He's here. There he is. 7:47 p.m.
It's a win for the voice. Well, before we start, guys, I hope you're all voting no. That's for sure.
Just away our whole shtick for the program. Well done. Nice work, man. I mean, people probably guessed what we were going to do because
what's in the title? I'm pretty sure our viewers know how to read.
You said the voice vote will come after your hunt. Okay, well, I guess that assumes you're going to put no. You didn't exactly say that, but yeah. I was asked this question the other day. Aaron was asking me too, or someone was it you? I don't think it was me. Wasn't you? He goes, any chance the podcast will be restarting? Your content has been missed. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I've got a lot going on at the moment, man. I've got so much going on, things happening. Listen, I said this to Aaron. I said, if it does come back, listen, what I probably would do is it'd just be basically a free thing, man. Like maybe I might have a donation if people wanted to help out, a link or something, but there'd be no Patreon. There'd be no advertising or anything like that, man. It would just be a straight show, no ads, but doing something like that is purely self-funded, it wouldn't be a regular thing, like it's not going to be a fortnightly thing or listen, but what I would probably do is, this is a big if, I don't even know if I'm even going to do it. I would just record them. I'd finish the conversation, spend the next 30 minutes, not go crazy on any editing, just get them up, edit the stuff, and then get them up online. And then that's it. As soon as I do them, I just put them straight out. So whether that's 2 in a week or whether that's 2 in 12 months or 1 in 12 months, I've got no idea, man. So we'll find out, man. I'm not sure. I have missed it a little bit to a certain degree. But then sometimes I think about it, and then I think of what's happening in the industry, and I just shake my head and said, why would I want to come back to this rubbish, Me and Aaron still talk about this all the time, what's happening in the industry, all the issues of all the gun bans, and it does get a little bit disconcerting, man, where we're constantly being attacked all the time. And, you sort of give 10, 12, 13 years of your life, and I've not seen one change. And then I see him on the internet today on Facebook. Oh, you got to write letters. You got to do this and that. I'm just shaking my head and said, governments don't care at all about your letters. They just laugh. And what's the point when you don't have the big organizations advocating for you and trying to stop a lot of these bans? They're just saying nothing about them. So it's a bit ridiculous. But anyway, it is what it is.
Exactly. Well, we did talk about this last night, and I suggested to Jason that he does a podcast with me. Return the favour.
Well, I did tell him, I said I wanted somebody good for the first show back. That's why he wouldn't get a look.
And one of his highest rating shows is one of the podcasts that I was on.
Yeah, I think you were. I think it was fourth. You were fourth. You're up there anyway. It's not bad. Fourth or something for over 250 episodes. That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So, guys, do you want to see me on Jason's return of his podcast?
No. Listen, I'm not saying that's even going to happen yet. I'm just saying, listen, it could be a monthly, it could be a 3 month. It's just whenever I'm getting the opportunity to do it, when I get the itch, like I said, it's going to be free and stuff like that. So it's going to be as needed, as I've got time. That could be, again, could be 1 a month. It could be once a year. I don't know, That's when I get the enjoyment out of it, And I like making videos too. So if I could actually fucking shoot something when I'm out hunting, I saw a lot of deer on the last trip actually, but their movements were a bit more erratic. So anyway. And Matt said that exactly. We've been saying this, and I even talked to some guys. I did a podcast. Well, not those guys, but I speak to other guys too. I did a podcast last week with Lawson from Bailing, Scaling, and Barbecue, and we were talking about all this stuff. And I was having a laugh, and I just said, I said all these things, and people thought it was, a bit. What's the word I'm thinking of? Over the top, I was being a bit full of myself, not that sort of thing, but, I was saying all these things were going to happen. Aaron was saying all these things were going to happen. People were saying, well, you're being a bit overboard and that's not going to happen. And we don't think that's going to happen. And then I sort of put it out there to the people that are listening now, even. I mean, tell me one thing that I've said that's not come true. Tell me, if you can give me one at least out of the thousands that I've said, over the 10, 12 years, then I'd be highly surprised. So,
Yeah, exactly. Even back before we even started, we're just doing the weekly videos talking about the topics right at the beginning of COVID. And, everything came true. Absolutely everything.
Yeah. And not just came true, much worse than I actually thought it was going to be. I'd say, on a scale, it was, like 89, 100% worse. I mean, we had multiple bans. We've got, which we'll talk about in a minute, the recommendations of the duck shooting in Victoria. I think we're still waiting on the one from South Australia as well to come out, but you can pretty much guarantee it's going to say the same thing
copy.
Because of Labor. It'll be a carbon copy pretty much. So,
Yeah. And here we go. I've got an interesting thing to say about this as well. Probing said, VACPOL numbers are down. They're suffering PTSD from shame and forced COVID policies. Media trying to spin it as a burnout. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, man, they have a absolute blitz. We have a traffic cop on a motorbike in my area, and he's doing loops, just attacking all the young tradies, pulling them over every day. Then he's flying through traffic like about 150 k's an hour, literally on the motorway, to catch the next young tradie and pull it over. And then you go past that, and this guy's screaming just like a bat out of hell. He's going to get killed. And he's just getting those numbers up, double demerit points. I had 3 meetings today looking at clients' places, and I saw probably a dozen cops just pulling tradies over. And even in little side streets, out of the way. They're pulling people over. It's unbelievable up here, out this way, South Brisbane. It's just unreal. They're on the hunt, that manhunt here. It's
Salty Skippy said, he goes, Jace was right. The jar was right. The jar is overflowing with cash. Well, man, I wish, you know what I mean? If my prediction comes, if they paid me as my predictions came true, I'd be a lot richer. But then again, I don't want these things to come true. I just try and tell people this is what's going to happen. This has been the plan for a long time. I mean, they tell you it's not, you know. I mean, people sometimes think, well, we can, like, I've seen it during, me and Aaron saw it during, the last couple of years of the pandemic, and wait until it gets into the courts, and the courts are going to see the way of the people. No, they're not. You think, mate, the courts and the judges are paid by the government, man. They want to move up in their positions. They want to get Supreme Court, High Court positions. They don't want to go against premiers, because then you don't have a job tomorrow. Or you never get promoted. You don't get on those real cushy, beautiful positions that they want, paid in hundreds of thousands, if not millions per year. Like, come on, guys. I mean, you think the courts are going to be on the side of the people?
Yeah.
I mean, full corruption. That's how I would say it. People go, you can't say that about the courts. They're independent. Yeah, about as independent as my left testicle, man. So,
yeah.
They were like, wait until the Nuremberg trials get handed down. Yeah. Have we seen it? No. We've seen nothing. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of fluffing around the edges. As I said, I've said to Aaron a lot, to look like they're independent, give a little bit over here. But all in all, when it comes to those big things, mate, they're never going to back up the people. They're always going to back up the government. And laws don't mean anything to these judges at all. So, let's get with the program a bit.
Yeah, exactly. Dank bloke. Are there any West German manufactured P226s in Australia? Yep, I got one. I bought it about 10 years ago. Standard barrel. Yeah, they all come with the threaded barrel, because that's the way they all came out, I believe, with the tactical one, which is the Navy SEALs one. I've got a German one, and it's the most accurate pistol I've ever shot. And my mates just brought, because they SIG closed down manufacturing pistols in Germany. They're all made in America now. And he's got the American one, and it is super, super accurate. The Navy SEALs one with the Navy SEALs logo on it. And the parts are interchangeable as well, from American to the German one. The American one is slightly more rounded on top.
Yeah, and Probing said here, big going back to that, he goes, government can never admit it made a mistake. That would incur liability. Exactly. Yep, very good point. Jono says, 2 questions. One, well, let's go Aaron first, because I've been talking a bit too much, so I'm going to give him the floor on this one. And because you speak to Gary from Browns Plains, any new large rifle primers? What's happening with the primers? You spoke to Gary?
Yeah, absolutely nothing coming in. Browns Plains said that all they can get out of Winchester for small pistol primers is 5,000. That's it. And that could be the only ones coming in this year. So
how much
were you allocated? 5,000 primers.
Did you buy any?
They haven't arrived yet.
Oh, okay.
He had 2 boxes of some. There was 2 boxes left, and there was some Argentine brand.
All right. Maybe we need to. Who remembers, Who remembers when you never used to even factor in primers as a cost of reloading, Meg, because they were so cheap?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
amazing.
The gun shops now are just recommending, don't even bother, think about reloading. Just you're going to have to be buying factory ammo from now on for the next few years.
Yeah, right.
Because you'll be reloading a handful of, they allocate you 2 boxes, 200. Well, I shoot 200 rounds whenever I go to the pistol club.
Yeah, right.
So, last time I made, 15,000 rounds of 9mm in one go over a couple of months.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, mate, luckily I bought that stuff a couple of years ago, but when I looked in there, I didn't buy as much primers as I thought. I've still got 2 boxes of, I think I've got about 1,300 of the large rifle primer, and I've got, I think, about 900 left of the Magnum primers, I think, because that's one thing I did too. I don't mind it, but I prefer, like, it must be a thing. I'm running a lot of my calibers off 308 case. So 243, large rifle primer, 260 Remington, large rifle primer, and Magnum rifle primer for the 300 Win Mag Bagara. But if I ever went another caliber, even if it was like a smaller caliber, like a 250 or something, 22 250, obviously still runs off 308 case and still a large primer. So, but anyway, hopefully by then primers will be back in stock.
Yeah, I reckon 4 years' time we'll start flowing again.
And Southern Star Review, our buddy, check out his channel. He said, "Where's the pistol powder?"
Yeah, where's any powder? I know they've been having problems making the stuff at ADI. Yeah, I need to buy bulk powder. And that's still going through the roof. It's just ridiculous. Yeah,
Jono Cowie, sorry. He goes, "Sorry if I missed your one, mate." He goes, "Hi, guys. Any idea when I know what me and Aaron are going to say here, any idea when the new Lithgow rifles are supposed to come out?" I was like, I didn't even know they were bringing one out.
No, because all their rifles have pretty much been looking the same, and it's a standard same old, apart from the Woomera.
Well, they got the LA. I'm just on the website. LA 101 crossover rimfire, crossover centerfire, the Woomera, which Aaron still reckons he kicked my ass on, which we'll give him that one. But
yeah, and that was
when he was shooting at 500, guys. I've still actually what I might even do.
There you go.
I've got that video, guys. I've still got it on my computer, backed up. Shooting Stuff Australia. He's going, oh fuck, he's getting the shits, and it was amazing, guys. About 5. We were shooting the torso gong at like. Well, Emma, how far was that up here? 500, 540, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Or 400 and something. Yeah. 475, I think it was. And mate, you should have seen
do you want to tell them the rest of the story? How my scope was loose and it was rattling around. I didn't notice. Yeah, maybe you should tell that part.
I've got the. He goes, what was that? The 308? That was the Ruger Precision, wasn't it?
Yeah. And remember when we shot 1,000, you were going off your nuts as well because you couldn't hit anything.
Well, you know what they say, garbage information into the Kestrel, garbage information out. I had it set at bloody 1 in 20 twist, and I think, 260 Remington is at 1 in 8, 1 in 10, I can't remember what it was. It was 1 in 20. And I'm like, this is not a 1 in 20 twist on a 260 Remington. What's going on?
Guys, I've never seen anyone miss a meter by meter steel gong at 1,000 meters by that much.
Oh, come on, that's easy to do.
I even got my mate Beck on target in about 5 shots, and she'd never shot him that far before.
Yeah, right. Hey, that's 1 in 9, 1 in 9 twist. I had it as 1 in 20, so it was going off the spin drift or whatever. It was going off
20 meters either side, and
no, it wasn't that bad, man. It wasn't that
shocking.
bad.
It's like, literally,
it was 1 mil. It was 1 mil. Right, which on the scope is stuff all at 1,000 meters. Actually, 1,120 yards, 1,046 meters, or 1,050. So,
literally could not hit the side of a barn. Literally,
we've got the video to prove I still hit something.
Yeah, eventually, but was that on the second day, wasn't it? 1 day of trying. Thank you so much, Ryan, for the super chat. Had a look at costing $337 million for the referendum. So more shiny asses can get their bums on seats, doing bugger all costing us money, more money. CZ Shadow 2 is using 50 to 50 powder to reload. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, just an absolute joke. This whole referendum thing. I heard it was up to like half $1 billion. Then they have to build. They got 9. I heard they got 90 people that are going to be voted in, and they're going to be in each state. They have to get a building and fit out buildings and offices in every single state. So it's going to cost billions once they. And mark my words, I reckon it will get in. They will make sure it gets in. They'll stop counting the votes when they got enough. They'll pulling a Joe Biden in this election. It'll be 100% rigged. Absolutely rigged.
You know what disappoints me? I watched they had the first, I don't know if the second one's happened yet, but I watched the first presidential debate. Man, I was so disappointed that Donald Trump was. I mean, why would he debate in the GOP Republican primary debates when you're 50, 60, 65 points ahead? He's only getting further and further ahead as time goes on. But yeah, it's just like, man, I wanted the bits to laugh. I love when he gets in these debates, he just hammers them. So, man, I so miss the way he talks to some of these media outlets. And I wanted him to get on there and hammer some of these Republicans like Mike Pence, his former vice president. But what else we got here? I think Sean said, where was Sean's one? I just missed it. Sean's up here somewhere. He said along the lines of, oh, what more can they do with the bolt action? I presume he's talking about Lithgow making a new gun.
Yeah, I'll talk a bit about that.
Hang on one sec. Hollow says new Lithgow is meant to be coming stores end of month, shipped by Spiker. Well, can someone let us know what it is? Because I've got no idea. I mean, I haven't been in the loop. I've been quite busy myself. So me and Aaron have been pretty busy. We just kept up with the topics that are sort of affecting shooters, not what guns are coming out at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's only so much you can do with bolt actions. That's why half the reason why I stopped doing reviews, because it's just boring. There's nothing worse than just watching another review of yet another bolt action. And that's why you see other Australian channels just absolute failing left, right, and centre. All their views have gone down, and people are just commenting how boring their reviews are because one bolt action is now just like the other bolt action. And plus, there's people out there who have been doing it for like 15 years, and they just don't understand when it's time to give up. You know, no one's watching your garbage and your fake reviews, and they just don't know when it's time to hang up. They just can't do it. They look at me attention. And that's half the reason I stopped doing reviews, guys, because who the hell wants to see bolt action after bolt action? Not me. And I don't want to review bolt action after bolt action either, because it's just boring. It is actually boring.
And not just that, there's a lot of hunting channels, man, that like the guys that get YouTube's just smashing hunting content hard. Yeah. I mean, you know, and like I said this on the stream the other day. I mean, not one person in Australia, whether you're a hunter, you make hunting videos, whether you're a podcaster like me, whether you're a reviewer, it doesn't matter what you're into in the industry, if you're in guns and that, there's not one person in Australia that is able to do this full time and make a solid income out of it to be able to do that. I mean, we'd all love to be shooting guns all day on land and make videos and do all that, but it's just not feasible, guys. You've got to have secondary employment. Me and Aaron were talking about this yesterday. We're just like, we'll talk. I think one popped up. We're on the phone. We were looking at Iraq veteran from the US. Like he seems like a nice guy. And then some of the ones still did okay, but I think he's like 2.8 million. Mate, a lot of them are well under 50,000. Like a lot of these, some of them even like 15, 20,000. Like that's not very good. I've got to be honest, for 2.7 million subscribers. I mean, you should be getting 2, 3, 4, 500,000. There's obviously a couple of those guys that are still doing good. Demolition Ranch, Kentucky Ballistics, and so forth. But again, they're rare as hen's teeth, those guys. And I think even Demolition Ranch, because of YouTube smashing gun content, his numbers have gone way down as well. So it's just more this disappointment from YouTube, hammering YouTubing and YouTubing content. And once, as we know, once your channel just gets to a certain age, they just sort of, they want some new, fresh people coming into the space. So they just smash your views in that.
I reckon I read up about 5 years. A channel peaks in 5 years, and then YouTube start cutting it off. And so around the 5-year mark, you got to look at closing it all down, and or just doing something like this. This is why we do the odd live stream, just to stay in touch with you guys. I don't think I'll ever make another gun review. I just haven't got time. I don't have the time to do it. Other people out there are government shift workers. They have the time off and that because they're raping the taxpayer sitting at home and stuff. And they can do all that. But me, I don't have time to do it. I don't even have time to do the.
Do you miss making a review though? Do you miss it at all?
Not a single bit.
Really?
Don't miss doing it. I despise editing. I think it's so boring because I'm not a computer person. I can't stand sitting in front of a computer for more than 5-10 minutes. I check my business emails each day, and then I don't.
I've got a love and hate relationship with the editing, man, because sometimes the editing is good because I hate it too. I don't hate it. I'm not a fan of it, but it's what happens when all this information just comes together and comes out and what the video looks like, and that's why I said on this live stream too. I mean, let me know, the guys in the comments. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of the gun creators on YouTube. And I always have, but I've just never, it's weird, I don't know if it's just me or is it you guys too? Do you watch a lot of commercial hunting content? So, I mean, I'll give you an example because that's obviously probably one of the biggest ones. I probably watched a season, maybe 2 seasons of Meat Eater. I like that guy. I think he seems like a good guy for the hunting, Steve Ranella. But that's a long time ago that I watched that stuff. I'm probably going to sound like an idiot here, but I don't think I've ever watched an Australian. I couldn't tell you one that I'd know that makes Australian hunting content on a commercial basis. I've just never watched a single episode of any commercialized Australian hunting channel, not one. So I just love the YouTube stuff because, as Aaron said before, and we'll talk about outside the show, it's someone's perspective, on hunting, and it's, you can do more, you can say more, it's just totally, you guys know what I mean, it's totally different than commercial content. So I don't know, listen, I probably would enjoy it if I watched it again. I did enjoy his series, the Meat Eater dude, but I don't know, I just find myself always on the internet. There's always something new and new hunting stuff popping up on YouTube. So, but but it's also same as that too, like even the Demolition Ranch stuff. I can only watch so much things of blowing stuff up all the time before I just get bored of it, man.
Yeah, fine. Well, I've got a different perspective, but I'll tell you this in a second. I want to thank Ben for the super chat. I got my Berica Black Ops, and your review was very helpful. Thanks. You're welcome. That was a new and innovative gun at the time, and that was quite a fun one to do, actually. Making that video. I've still used my Black Ops to this day. I love it. I think it's a great gun. Well, I'm different, Jason, because I dealt with the importers, and you have YouTubers out there saying they're independent, they get no help, blah blah blah, bullshit. They are 100% full of shit when you hear YouTubers say we're fully independent, because the wholesalers I dealt with would tell me what they're doing with the other YouTubers and who they are, and the ones that are saying they get no help and all that, they have been getting help from the YouTubers, from the importers and that all the time.
Hey, what did I say to you yesterday too? I said I didn't even believe Aaron's reviews, just because it's natural to be, what's the word I'm thinking of? Skeptical of, I guess, reviews. Did someone get a gun for free? But then on the flip side, you can't expect someone to make free gun content on it, taking their whole weekend of editing, if there's nothing in it. Like, that's unfortunate. Yeah. That's one thing with the advent of the internet. Everyone thinks everything is free, but somebody pays for it down the line, whether it's you, whether you're supporting them, whether you don't, whether it's just them giving up their personal time that they have to give up to be able to do it. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing is free. I mean, even YouTube want to charge me money now not to watch their ads, but I haven't done that yet, but I feel like I want to, but
I'm not paying a YouTube.
But I do watch the YouTube. I do like YouTube stuff because I love the, you're not as hamstrung. You're not as hamstrung when you're making content. So I do like the Australian YouTube hunting stuff. I do like the American YouTube hunting stuff. There's some good European stuff that I watch too. So, you know what I mean? It's just the commercial stuff. I'm not too fancy on it, to be honest. But anyway, we'll probably start getting you finish off that topic, and then we'll get into tonight.
So guys, that's why I don't do the reviews anymore, because I can tell you now, don't believe anything. I watch these reviewers from Australia and just look at their reviews and think, you are just so full of fucking shit. Absolute lying.
Do they think the same about you, though, that you're full of shit? Should they or not?
Every gun that I got or was lent, I've always said that this was lent and got, and the conditions were that I say what I think. But there's ways of saying as well. You don't have to trash talk it. And one of the importers got a bit funny, saying, "Oh, I didn't think you'd say that." I said, "Well, that's the truth." And I told everyone in the beginning that every gun I got, I told them. Right? It's not a problem if YouTubers actually come out and say they lent me this gun or they gave me this gun. Nothing wrong with that, because that's what happens when you do shows on any topic. People eventually will end up giving you stuff to plug, but when you just pretend that they didn't, you can't believe a single thing. I look at these Australian reviewers now, and I just can't believe anything they say.
Yeah, I mean, I always said, I mean, like all of us, sometimes I wonder why we got into this industry to a certain degree sometimes.
Oh, yeah,
but,
yeah. That's
but,
Jason.
you know,
He gets really angry about useless organisations and people promising everything, and they don't do anything. None of them. I wouldn't believe anyone from an organisation or anything at all. And I stay well clear of any sort of organisation or anyone who's been a part of it. Nah, I'm sorry. They're all dead to me now. I won't have anything to do with any of them. Won't speak to them. I'm absolutely 100% done with them. Any form of organisation, any ex-people organisations, I don't want to hear from. I'm not even remotely interested.
Do you still want to hear from me? Oh, what about me?
You're not a stinking, lying, useless organisation.
Oh, okay.
Our good friend, thank you, Andy, for the super chat. Right on, Aaron. The truth hurts sometimes. 100%. 100%. Yeah, the stuff I could tell you about some of these reviewers would make you guys sick to the stomach. What I've found out from the importers that have told me about them will make you absolutely sick and your blood boil.
I want to
thank you so much, Andy, for that. I do.
Let's just go. Matt Outdoors Adventure said when they started demonetizing channels, that's where people started, the big American channels had to start going with Patreon. Yeah, but then Patreon, I think, started kicking a lot of people off too.
And you see, Patreon's basically all dead now. No one really does that.
And I guess it's a bit liberating, isn't it? You know, the fact that we just do it for fun, man. We like having a chat. It's good to just, you know, get on and connect again with everybody. And, you know, you're not sort of hamstrung. You know, it's similar to what I was just talking about with those, you know, the commercial related stuff. You know, you don't have to worry about sponsors and saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing, or, you know, is someone going to drop you if you say something they don't like, even if it's not associated to them. Just in general, man, it's quite liberating, to be honest. So now it's just back to being fun again, which is good. I like it.
Yeah, you won't get any more sponsors here. None at all. Yeah, no sponsors. I won't say never, but it'll be if I do, it'll be a set price for one episode. That'll be it.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get the topic at hand, because this is very important stuff, man. Bring it.
Yes.
What have you got? Because you got something that was important you were telling me about.
Did
you have that? Didn't you have something? It was paperwork or something sharp?
Yeah. Just so guys, you know how hard it is to find anything on The Voice, anything at all. Like, I've been searching for weeks. They're not telling us, so they want us to vote on this referendum to change the Australian Constitution and divide Australia between black and white. And most Aborigines don't want this either. So they want, as you all know from overseas viewers, basically they want to put in, make another governing body that can oversee and have recommendations on anything that the government do for the Aborigine people, which incidentally, the Aborigine people aren't even like the second highest demographic. They're down fourth or fifth in Australia here, from what I believe. And so they want to do that. It's going to cost billions of dollars, but they're not even telling us what we're voting for. So they're just telling you, vote yes for the referendum. Then we'll tell you what you've just voted for. So that's a big red flag for a start. They can't even tell you. So we've got this thing here also, came the other day from the Liberals who started it's a bit ironic, really, is it? Because the Liberals are the ones that's probably the first ones to actually take our freedoms away from us and start this whole woke industry.
Hey, before you go on with that, let me say one thing too about that before you go. Very important, very quickly. The Liberals are sending that, but then Dutton's been saying for the last, I don't know if he's saying it now, because I heard something this morning that he's dumped the idea, but he was talking about some recognition in the Constitution. So again, the Liberals, they're just always pulling up short with everything, always trying to be Labor light. Forget both of these major parties. They're both, until the Liberals start showing backbone, which they're never going to do, eventually you get to mine and Ara's age and you realize they both suck. They're both what I refer to as the uni party. They're the same party, basically. Yeah. I mean, give or take. I mean, there's some small, what would you say, economic differences between the two. But you'd be surprised how close these two parties really are. Look at Victoria. They're a complete basket case in Victoria. Kicking out people for going to Oh, they went to a freedom rally. Oh, heaven forbid. Big, scary freedom. So continue.
Yeah. Both parties are just the same form of diarrhea. That's all they are. Yeah. So, so they came out, and there's a few things in this. Everyone got it. So a lot of you guys probably got it. Same as from Dutton, actually, as well. But what it said here was...
is he going to give our guns back? Does it say that?
No, they're going to take our guns, actually. They're going to have a say in that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
High Court. No, what the one was here. The voice will have... is to all areas of executive government, which means no issue is off limits. So basically that means they can say, we don't think anybody apart from Aborigines can hunt on do public land hunting in Victoria or New South Wales. So we strongly recommend you stop public land hunting, but Aborigines can go there without a permit. And they're trying that down in Victoria. They put recommendations in already. The Aboriginal Council was in it down there saying, we recommend that you get rid of duck hunting, but Aborigines can still hunt ducks. So I highly recommend if they bring the stuff like this, go get a letter from an Aboriginal elder, pay them the $100 or whatever, a carton of VB, whatever they want, and get a letter from them saying that you're accepted in their Aboriginal community, and then you are by the eyes of Australian lawmakers Aboriginal. So you only have to identify as an Aborigine now, and they can't question you. So if they start bringing this in, everyone has to identify as an Aborigine.
Yeah. Hey guys, I want to go hunting, guys. I'm Aboriginal again. Just let you guys know I'm Aboriginal from here on out. You will
we can go hunt roos with no permits, eat koalas, do whatever
can't
we
wait.
want.
Can't wait. Loving it.
Neil here says the Aboriginal population has grown by 25%. Well, actually, they grew last year by 0.08%, but 55% were people identifying as Aborigine, legally identifying as Aborigines. So white people and Asians saying they're Aborigines.
And let's not forget, guys, Actually, I'll probably even... Where is it, Aaron? I'll share my screen. Hang on. Go to...
So they will be able to have say in absolutely... From what I can read and everything I've found, they have a say in everything. So if they don't like your hunting, which they're not going to like anything that we like now, we like doing, they are going to strongly put a proposal in and say, no, I don't think we should be allowed to hunt here or do this form of hunting or even shoot guns in general. And you mark my words, the government, both forms of government will side with them because I don't want to appear to be racist if they say no.
Have you got that approved? Can you click that yes button? Is it there?
Yep.
Right, let's not forget the Aboriginal ATSIC, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Commission, founded in March of 1990 and disbanded and dissolved in 2005 for all types of issues with money. It was knocked on the head because of the amount of wastage and corruption going on. That's why it was dissolved. People say, well, because who was the Prime Minister back in 2005? Possibly, was it John Howard or who was after John Howard? I'm not sure. I can't remember, but I don't know who dissolved. I can't remember who dissolved it. But
Rudd?
Again, it wouldn't have been Rudd. Who's old enough to remember who disbanded, who the PM was? Let's go to, hang on, Australian.
Well, they actually do have these days the National Indigenous Australians Agency with 1,400 staff, and it gets $4.3 billion a year. So they've already got something like that with 1,400 staff, and they're getting $4.3 billion a year. Now they want more representation. How about representation for like Polynesians, or the Chinese, because the Chinese are the second highest demographic in Australia, I believe. So what are they getting a voice?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, man. It was, disbanded, man. So for all types of wrongdoing and so forth, it was under John Howard, actually. So, again, do we need more of that? Do we need wastage? Listen, guys, I've always said it's very clear to me. My two very easy things, or three actually, are We saw what they did to Ayers Rock, Uluru, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you can't go up on it. People used to go there, get married, take their families, go with their fiancés, wives and kids, boyfriends, whatever it may be, family and parents. They loved going up on it, take photos. It was an experience of a lifetime, something I would have liked to have done during my lifetime, to be honest. But now you can't do that. You can't. All you can do is stare at the thing from a bloody distance, So, again, if this is what I've got to look forward to, then it's a no from me. Secondly, does the position have any power? And let's go both scenarios. If the answer is yes, it does have power, then I'm not going to vote for it. And then secondly or thirdly, if it doesn't have any power, then what's the point of having another wasted bureaucracy spending tens of millions of dollars, billions of dollars every year, whatever it may be, to have some advisory panel that probably doesn't speak for all Aboriginal people, because you're never going to get one country on the same page, one race, one type of people. It's just not going to happen. So again, wasted money. We don't need more bureaucracy. And let me share one more thing while I'm here, Aaron. I'll share this. Let me just go present, because this is very important, guys. I don't know if you haven't seen this, but let's go. Sorry, Aaron, just 1 second. Yep, I've got it here. That's the 20 plus. Okay, hang on a second. Yep. I think that's the one. All right, you got it up? Let me just scroll forward. Let me make sure I'm on the same screen as you. Yeah.
I'll just make it bigger.
I've selected the wrong one, but that's all right. Give me a sec. I'll just scroll down. Where am I now? Here. Is that moving? Is that screen moving?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Where is it? It's down here somewhere. That was a funny one. I like that one. Sorry, guys. I just got to find. Here it is. Yeah, perfect. All right, let's make sure I've got that up. Yeah, okay. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys. No, I can't zoom in. But I'll read it to you. You'll see down the bottom here. If you look at the bottom one, guys, so down the bottom here, let's read all the recommendations. This was the recommendation that the Victorian government ends the annual recreational native bird hunting season opening on all public land in 2024. That the Victorian government retains existing exemptions to hunt and control native birds. So again, of course, the government and government officials can remove native water birds, but not us. That traditional owner hunting rights are retained under existing legislation. So if these guys are serious that it's about cruelty, then why can one type of person hunt but not the other? Doesn't make any sense. That state game reserves, so recommendation 4, that state game reserves used for duck hunting are converted into outdoor recreation reserves. Blah, blah, blah. We know no one's going to use it because not many people like to go out in the bush. All the kids are playing video games these days. 5, that the Victorian government provides an additional resource, Department of Energy. So again, waste of another recommendation. Let's go to the more important one. That the Victorian government reviews the process to report damage or destruction of Aboriginal cultural heritage and introduces additional protections for these sites, including appropriate signposting and a review of the current penalties for cultural destruction. Don't know why that's a thing in a duck hunting recommendation. But anyway, recommendation 8, probably the most important one of the whole lot, if not the most important one, that the Victorian government requires hunters participate in an Aboriginal cultural heritage awareness education program. Something I would never, ever partake in. Like, what does that mean? Ridiculous. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. And for these people to tell me that I need to do some cultural awareness or awareness program is just really a slap in the face, to be brutally honest. But we know it's not about cruelty. It's just about all this agenda to give these people more rights and less to people like us. I can't believe this thing has got any steam. Yet the Labor Party always said it's not about racism and not about dividing people based on their, color of their skin.
Well, this is going to set racism back hundreds of years, because you think if they start doing all this to every non-Aborigine, no matter what other race you are, they are going to be absolutely hated in society. Hated. So this is actually going to set racism back hundreds of years, and this will leave such a bitter taste. People will absolutely hate the Aborigine race once they do this, if they start doing all this.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm not going to participate in some sort of cultural awareness program to be able to go hunting. And then how long before that equates over to deer hunting and other types of hunting? No, thank you. We need to honestly crush this legislation, and you need to tell people. I'm hoping it loses, but if it doesn't, well, that's a different story. But if it does lose, it doesn't get up. I just can't wait to tell people and say, listen, I'm glad this divisive legislation didn't get up. And it was rejected by a fair chunk of Australia. It was rejected. Can't wait to say that. I hope I get to say that, but we'll see on October 14th, guys. But, and again, I might add, look at some of these laws that we saw in Western Australia. And this is Labor, might add, Labor, they were gone within 2 months. It did not even last 2 months. It was basically 2 months or a couple of days before. They just disbanded the legislation, gone, because they realized the ramifications of what they were going to be dealing with. So axed within 8 weeks. Can you believe it? Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. It's just it has to stop. It really does. And all this.
And how much money have we given, man? Over how many years? 100 years? 80 years? 200 years? How many?
Once that Dopey Rudd said, sorry to us, on the behalf of us, and he said, there'll be no money paid. Well, something was on the ABC News. Within the first month, they paid out $437 million in the first month. And he's saying, we're just going to recognise and say sorry to them, but no money will be handed out. Within a month, $400 million was handed out by Labor to them.
Yeah. But it's good to see that it started off for the Yes campaign quite well. And then as it's got closer to the referendum date, it's just tanked hard. But again, that's no reason to be complacent. Talk to your friends, hey, dude, you know that my parents grew up, I still live in Western Sydney. My parents grew up in Western Sydney. You can't talk Labor out of them, mate. Trust me, I've tried. Even they're voting no to the Voice. So they're staunch Labor voters, mate. I tell you what. Yeah, don't know why, but they are. They just hate anything to do with the Liberal Party. Listen, I don't like the Liberal Party either for what they did to our guns and stuff like that. So I'm in that camp too. But as you get older, there's people that stay rusted on to one party. And then I think there's the smart people that actually go to realize, listen, they both suck, and we're better off without both of these parties,
Yeah, exactly. This is going to set Australia back hundreds of years, financially, morally. It's just going to boost racism big time. Well, it already has. We'll look at the one where the video of the people pushing for the yes vote, all those Aborigines calling all the white people walking past white fucks and that.
Yeah.
They vote for us, but you're a white piece of shit, they're saying.
Yeah. That makes me want to vote yes. Where do I sign up? Where do I sign up?
Yeah. Yeah, and here's Bryce said $30 billion money laundering scheme. Exactly. That's all it is. Follow the money.
I mean, listen, I'd like to know, other than giving money, listen, money's obviously going to be needed for some things, right? But realistically, what can we do? I mean, to me, the crime hasn't got any better in these communities. It just hasn't. I mean, anyone that says that it has is kidding themselves. These politicians, a lot of them don't go to these areas. They don't go right into the deep areas where all the issues are. They probably stay in Alice Springs and meet a few Aboriginal people. Then they go home, things like this. Handpicked people they can talk to. They don't get right into the communities where there's barely any running water. So what can we do, to get it? I mean, again, it's been 200 plus years. What can we do without just pouring money hand over fist? That's not really achieving the result that taxpayers expect it to achieve. And it just continually gets paid just because it's not good enough anymore. People should start asking more questions. So that means go to your friends, go to your hunting friends, go to your normal friends and say, listen, we need to vote against this legislation because we need as many people as possible voting no. And make sure you vote correctly too. When you turn up on voting day, get in there and say, right, what is a legitimate vote? Most likely they'll tell you when you're there anyway. If it means writing no in the no box, write no.
Yeah, so that's what you got to do. It's what they're saying, isn't it? You can't do a tick. If you do a tick or a cross on the no, it's going to automatically go towards a yes. Automatically. They've rigged it all. This is rigged. Man, this is purely rigged. So you have to write no down and legible too. And see these people counting it, if they can't read the word no, well, it has two letters in it, and yes has 3 letters in it. So
Yeah.
if they can't figure out that it says no, they're going to say it's yes. It's their discretion. They could just be going yes, 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 yes to everything, even those, until they get the numbers. And I reckon that's what's going to happen. This is Joe Biden 2.0 again.
Yeah.
This is
and
it.
Phil said, if you ask him if you're there, if you're legally allowed to use a pen, use a pen. So they can't do anything to the ballot paper, stuff like that. But they do need a majority in most states. I think, sometimes Queensland, I tell you what, where Aaron is, Queensland's a funny state. 1 minute they're voting against, Bill Shorten. Next minute they're electing Anastasia Palaszczuk. So go figure. But they've got to. Queensland's probably going to hold the fort in some respects. Queensland seemed to be the hard state to get things across by. Obviously, New South Wales is a little bit harder as well. But we need WA, South Australia, and Victoria to come home strong as well. So, but we'll see how we go, man. Like, you could be right. I don't know. But I think after this is just divisive legislation or a divisive request of the people to vote on a referendum. And I think this is going to be, if it wins, it's going to be bad. If it loses, I would say it's also going to be bad, because what's going to happen then? Are they going to try and introduce legislation? People are already divided as it is, man. I saw some on Twitter yesterday. Some of the liberal politicians were out, they were somewhere in front of some building, and then people are yelling out, as Aaron said, all these racist, derogatory comments. And from the Yes campaign, oh, you bloody white dog, and F and CUNT, and all this stuff, man. Yep. Like, it was bad, man. I'm like, far out. Is this what we've got to look forward to now? This divisive type of thing happening? And Albanese's like, oh no, it's all good. Everyone's going to come together. He said, we're going to, I'm like, how is this bringing people together?
This is going to start like a race war sort of thing. I reckon it's going to divide the country majorly. Make a majority of people absolutely hate the Aborigines, even, really bad.
Hey, listen, and I have heard that too. People that said they didn't care about this stuff, all right, up until a couple of years ago. Now they're getting, from the people that I'm talking to, especially friends of mine, people that I know, have talked through different avenues, man, are getting to that point where they've just had enough of this, where at this point they just don't care about these people anymore. They don't care about their plight. They don't care about
their culture and all that.
They care about their culture. They're not interested anymore. They've just had a gut full of it, man. And these were good people that were willing to give anyone a fair go, but it's just been shoved down their throats that now they're like, sorry, I just don't care anymore. I don't care. I'm not going to be voting for it. I don't care about them. And again, this is what divisive policy does to the people of Australia. And then they start blaming us. We'll say, well, these people have been, corrupted by the Liberal Party or radicalised somehow in some way. But it's just good, honest people that are just sick to death of this type of thing happening.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that this is basically a test on how easy they can change the Constitution, because they got big plans. They basically want to rewrite our Constitution to a woke left-wing Constitution. Basically write us out of the history books pretty much. And this is a test to seeing how far and how much they can get away with and how easy it is to change the Constitution. And one of the things I have heard is that what the government is saying, that they reckon, even though it hasn't gone through and there's no voice committee yet, but they said one of the things that they're going to be looking at, this voice committee, is if you own a house or a property, you're going to have to start paying rent to your local Aborigine tribe to own your own house. See,
I mean, at the end of the day, we don't
work
know.
out too well with homeowners.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. That's the whole point of this, So when you don't know, you just vote no. That's pretty much it. None of this could happen. All of it could happen. Some of it could happen. Majority of it could happen. Maybe none of it happens. But I'm not willing to find out, because I've seen, again, I'll never be able to go to Ayers Rock to climb it, because they destroyed that also. And they destroyed a lot of people's enjoyment. For what reason? Who knows? Money. Again, once this stuff gets up to that level, it just becomes a political issue. So we just need to make sure that, again, guys, vote no, do what you can.
Here's Phil. The Voice is already a registered business. No.
Well, we can't confirm that. Can you let us know where do we go to see that? I'd like
Put
to
a
look at
link up.
that, but put a link up. But yeah, we'll see what happens, man. You know, I mean, let us know in the comments if any of you's got an alternative view. If anyone's voting yes, give me your reasoning in the comments. We'd like to hear it. We're not gonna give you any shit and that sort of thing. We just love to hear an honest opinion of someone that might be thinking about voting yes. You know, is there any reason? What do you think it's going to be? You know?
Yeah, well, Kathy Freeman came out today. I was wondering when she's going to pipe up and vomit her garbage again on these sort of things. And she's recommending everybody vote yes. Her people needs everyone to vote yes.
Yeah,
so
right.
she's obviously, I don't know, allegedly been paid off. Is there a new car sitting in her driveway today?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, yeah, remember, don't be, let's keep our eye on the prize. Let's do the right thing and let's vote no to this legislation. So, but anyway, I'm still waiting to see if anyone is thinking about voting yes.
I don't think anyone in our group of friends here are going to be voting yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion. We're all about opinions here. We're not, going to discount, as much as silly as they might be, again,
totally
this is surprising. Guys, let us know on the internet, on the comments. I don't think there's many, but I've not seen many people talking about this dude. I've been following a few of I don't look at as much as I used to. I am not seeing this on Facebook. I know a lot of guys are still, because we're so busy, we don't keep up with that stuff all the time. But are you seeing any of the pro-hunting, pro-gun / Australian Facebookers, Instagrammers, whatever they may be on social media? Are you seeing them posting about this one? Because I'm seeing no one else posting about this. I'm seeing some comments from people, but not people writing up posts about it and saying, we've got to stop this. So let us know in the comments, because I have not seen a single thing, guys, not one. It could be wrong.
I'm going to do one of those polls on my Facebook page, on the Shooting Stuff Australia page. Are you voting yes or no?
Yeah. And listen, I'll be honest with you. I think I made a mistake. Mr. Wonderful said, if a chance to get rid of the royal family back in 99 failed, no way this one gets over the line. And I've said this before. In theory, I would love to get rid of the royal family. I'd love the country to be a republic and stand on its own 2 feet. I definitely would do that. But
I was in the past, but now I don't think so. I don't think.
Exactly.
Imagine having Albo as our first president, or Bill Shorten, or they're all our politicians are absolute dopes, complete dopes, and they're laughing stock of the Western world. Man, imagine having them as a president. Like, what a joke.
But getting back to my point, I voted yes to that. I was 18 years old because I thought, well, yeah, it sounds great. We're going to get away from the monarchy. And so I guess somewhat I still believe that to a certain degree, but I would vote no now because, and I'll tell you why, because we know these people, if we had a Bill of Rights, are not going to give you any freedoms more than you have now. So the best case scenario would be that you have the same laws that you have now, or the same benefits, you might say, as you have now, put into put into a Bill of Rights. Worst case scenario, we're going to be less better off. And I think that's probably what would happen. We would be less better off. So at this stage, I like the idea in theory, but there's no way we can guarantee a government is going to give the people any more power or any more enjoyment or any more freedom at all in this country. So for me, it would be a hard no now. But in theory, I do like the idea. If we had pro-freedom people that were going to put in pro-freedom policies, then my stance might be different. But at the moment, it's a big no from me, totally. So
yeah, I think all intelligent people in Australia will be voting no. So guys, in the comments section, once this video is finished and it goes to the video, write in the comments yes or no. What are you voting? Let's see how many no's or yeses are in the comments section once we finish this video.
Just write nothing else. Just say yes or no.
Yeah.
Just so we know, we can get on here.
And keep an eye out on my Facebook or Instagram, and I'll put up a poll, which I don't know how to do. I'm looking at Facebook now. I don't know how to do it. But we'll try and get that going as well, and just see how many people are voting. Yeah. Did see someone say up here, vote yes if they give you an AR-15. Well, if you were going to get given an AR-15, how many people would vote yes?
What would you do if they said tomorrow,
Paul.
listen, guys, we want you to vote yes. We're going to give you an AR-15. We're going to give you your choice of a pump or a semi-automatic 5-shot shotgun. We're going to give you a Ruger 1022, and we're going to give you suppressors back. Would you vote yes then?
Yeah, I think I would.
Oh man, that'd be hilarious, wouldn't it?
I'd get all my
I got to admit, I have to think about it pretty hard. I'd have to think about it.
I'd just be sitting back with my new semi-autos, watching the country burn itself to the ground.
Yeah, we're sitting on our roofs, just going, "Oh, this is a nice little pump action shotgun. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you."
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh man. That's funny, man. That's a good one. 109%. But how far would it have to be? All those ones? Would you just see? If it was just an AR-15, I'd probably say, nah, I don't think I can do that. When if it's the pump and suppressors and the Ruger, man, it'd be pretty hard, wouldn't it?
How's this for a new gun law to regulate semi-autos? They should say if you own more than 20 guns, you are obviously a serious gun owner and shooter, so you can have a semi-auto. Okay, that'll be a pretty good law. So once you own 20 guns, you're then allowed a semi-auto.
Listen, I don't like it, but if they said tomorrow, listen, at 5 years, you can then have a Ruger 1022, then say, or what they call category C, right? Then say at the 8 to 10 year mark, whatever it would be, 7 year, 10, we can talk semantics, but then you get your AR-15s with say 10 shot capacity or 15, something like that. Would you be okay with that? So I'd be happy with anything at this point, because at the moment we're not kicking any goals. So if that's the compromise I had to make, I don't like it. But if that means I could get my hands on them, enjoy that sport and get involved in some other sports and some other types of hunting, you'd have to accept it. I mean, I wouldn't want to, but it's better than we've got now, which is nothing at all. So, it's not ideal, but it's better than what we've got. Excuse me.
Yep. Here's a
full auto.
Lost it.
Wow. So Salty Skippy just said if he gets full auto, he doesn't even need the ARs. If he just gets full auto, he's sold on it.
Yeah. Everyone needs a giggle switch.
Full auto.
Yep. That's for sure. Yeah.
So,
here we go, Sean. That's how Russia works. Shotgun for a few years, rifle for a few years, after a few years, and then semi-autos. Yeah.
Listen, I would accept that better than what we've got now, which is nothing. I mean, you go across the ditch and you buy suppressors straight off the shelf. But again, Labor,
even kids
Liberal,
can go and buy them.
The uni party, both uses as tits on a ball. Like me and Aaron, we talk about sometimes. I have a laugh. I do have a laugh at some of his content. We were talking about the New South Wales election and John Barilaro, and that, if you know who he is, that friendly Geordies on YouTube. Sometimes I don't subscribe to it, but if something pops up occasionally, I'll have a watch of it. I haven't watched it probably for well over a year now, but same thing. I mean, he's totally rusted on Labor, but he's only a young guy, man. Wait until he gets older, and then he realizes he's just a pawn for the Labor Party. And he realized they're all a pack of idiots, because I feel like that's the inevitable conclusion as you get older and smarter, and probably to be a bit more cynical, that you realize Labor and Liberal both suck, and people say, well, what are you going to do? You're going to vote for someone else? Mate, I'm going to give them a go. And let's hope they don't fall into the trap. But then again, they might fall into the trap of power and become the same as the two major parties. So, but again, got to give them a go to find out.
Yeah, well, someone just talked about the old vax. And have you heard that in the US? They may be looking at going to full COVID lockdowns again in US and Canada by Christmas. And what a coincidence. It just coincides with Pfizer's new super booster they're pushing over there.
Yeah. I mean,
all the TV stations are pushing, go get the new Pfizer super booster. It cures everything. It's just been invented. You're going to need to get it. And, by the way, we're going to go into lockdowns if you don't get it.
Doesn't sound good, does it? You know what I mean? Doesn't sound good at all. But I guess at the end of the day, guys, I mean, it's up to you what you guys decide to do. It's your vote. You can decide. Hopefully, we've given you a bit of an idea. I mean, Blunt Machete, bring that one up. 243, 48 land councils, 35 regional councils, 122 plus Aboriginal agencies, 3 advisory bodies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it brings up a great point right at the end. If you want representation, you vote for them and you get those people into Parliament. As you said here, I thought there was 12, but he says 11. Let's go with 11 or 12.
No, I think there is 11.
That's right. There's 11 Indigenous people in Parliament that are probably doing a good job for their constituents. Some good, some bad, no doubt. There might be some okay ones. I don't know. But again, it's just this country just knows how to waste a shit ton of money. That's for sure. Eh? They waste money like it's going out of fashion.
Oh, excuse me. Yes. Yeah.
See, it's been about 12 culturally important Indigenous days. Taxpayers give $33 billion, and I just don't think we're getting the results for that kind of money. We're definitely not.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's absolutely pathetic. Anyway, we might wrap up. It's we've gone a bit later than normal, so which is good for our first.
And hey, let us know some upcoming topics. Obviously, we've got that duck hunting one. That's probably going to be an important one as well. But we'll do some topics.
And once this voice referendum goes, we'll do a referendum special as well, and we'll talk about the corruption there and that. And we'll do one of those. So yeah, give us some topics, guys, and we'll put them down in the comments section so we can see them afterwards, and we will start talking about stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah, and thanks to all the people that joined again and all the regulars. I'm not going to read all those out. I didn't do the roll call this week. Sorry, guys, but you're all in there doing a good job, and some of the regulars, especially at short notice. We didn't think Aaron thought he was going to be working again this week. So, we probably would have done a few more. I don't think we're going to do it every week, but sometimes we might do it if we can 2 weeks in a row, 3 weeks in a row. Then we won't do it for a while because of his work. But once we, if he gets back to some normal hours, we might just go back to just twice a month or something like that. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it is so awesome to catch up with you great people again, and we've actually seen a few new people in here as well. I've noticed tonight, which is always fantastic. So welcome to the new guys, and we will definitely be seeing you very, very soon. I do promise that. And remember, subscribe to the channel, and a big thank you to Browns Plains Firearms, who have been a long time supporter of this channel. So a big thank you to Gary and the boys down there. So if you're down in Browns Plains and South Brisbane, the link's in the description below. Go and see Gary and the boys down at his shop. Tell them I sent you, and they'll look after you.
And don't forget, vote no on October 14th.
Yeah, we'll have another show before that anyway. That's for sure. A pre-corruption show. And then post-corruption show.
Is it like, I might even get my little, I haven't got one, but I can find one on eBay. I'll get my little Donald Trump head on or something. And, we can say, this is,
I've got my Make America Great hat.
Stolen election. We can get amongst that, have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah. I don't know if we're not doing anything on the Saturday night, we could do a live voice thing.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how we go. Yeah, it could be an opportunity. Yeah.
Get our own spin on it.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Cool. Yes. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone that turned up. I really, really do appreciate it. And it's wonderful to see all you guys again. And thank you, Jason. You can thank Jason for getting me on again because he's hounding me every single week. So, so Jason's made this happen tonight. So I would like to thank everyone who showed up tonight. And remember, get down in the comments. Tell us yes or no. What you're
just yes or no. Nothing else. Yes or no.
Yep. And put topics that you want us to talk about. If there's a really good topic, I'll do a show next week. So thank you very much, everyone. And thank you, Jason, for coming along. And we shall talk to you very, very soon. Good night, everyone.